For the next example, we have two companies, company A and company B. Company A has various workloads that run on Azure, so it will have different applications hosted on AKS, for example. And in order to access these applications, then or the users will need to authenticate on demo1.com tenant, which has AD, so Azure Active Directory Connect Sync enabled with on premises AD. Company B has demo2.com tenant on Azure. And so there is an agreement between company A and company B, because company B would like to access the applications that run on Azure for company A, and actually it would like to allow only 3 users to do so. And these users should be able to use single sign-on to access these resources. Now you are asked to implement the solution quickly without, so pay attention to this detail, without any cost. And you get 4 options here. So either you create 3 user accounts in the company A on-prem AD, or you configure ADFS, Active Directory Federation Services, for company B. Yeah. Or you can enable B2C authentication. So this will mean that these 3 users will be able to use their Outlook email account to access the applications. Or you add an UPN, user principal names, as guests on company A AD tenant. And so in this case, the correct answer is to add UPNs, so user principal names. And let's see why this is true and why the other ones are not true. So you should add this because adding these 3 UPNs actually will send an invitation to those users, and they will be able to access demo1.com services. And then you can use demo2.com principals to provide access to various services on company A. So this would be the correct answer right here. You shouldn't create new users accounts for the 3 company B users. So this would be the first option here, and this is because actually this solution would work, but actually it will create a new user account for company B users with the company A domain, and it will not provide actually single sign-on functionality. This is what we want right here. Also, you shouldn't configure ADFS because this will involve higher costs and it will take a lot of time, and you want to implement this with no cost and as fast as possible. And regarding enabling B2C authentication, actually this would not allow the 3 company B users to use single sign-on, and it would also not be a good practice because these users will still have access even if they left company B. I think this is a tricky question, and I think so I would qualify it among the toughest questions that you can get at the exam, because I think you can get fooled by any of these answers. And once again, pay attention to the details, because it's this will bring you actually to the correct answer. So remember, here you need to use single sign-on, and it should be without any cost. And so let's check the documentation as well to see what Microsoft says about this topic. There is a nice in B2B collaboration overview article. You're gonna find a nice schema that will explain you how everything works. And so you're going to see here that if you want to collaborate with any partner using their identities, then using guest users, it's quite straightforward and quite easy for you, because users on one hand, users can use their own identities and credentials, whether they have an AD account or not. And on the other side, you don't need to manage external accounts or password. You don't need to sync accounts. So it makes it quite easy for you. And also, the UI for this is also quite easy to use and to understand. You just invite the users, they get the invitation, and then they have access to the resources you want them to have. All right, I'll let you read. If you're interested, I recommend to read the whole article, because you're going to find very useful information that will be useful in real life as well, not only for this exam.